Hey everyone, Luke here, and after the last disappointing chapter of Witch Watch, it's nice that we're finally getting back into some really good solid Witch Watch. I mean, it's still a buffer chapter, and I spoke to Pyjams earlier today. He reckons that we're gonna probably be in these buffer chapters before we get into the training arc, and honestly, I wouldn't want that. I would want to just get to the training arc, get that all sorted, and finally get Nico back to her normal age. Because at the end of the day, we're nearly close to the threshold of 100 chapters in part 2 itself. I get the feeling that we're gonna, as soon as Nico gets back to normal, part three is gonna happen, because it wouldn't be the Adventures of the Little Witch anymore. But yeah, this chapter was really good, really solid character development chapter. This is the kind of buffer fluff chapter that I like, because it gives some nice character development for characters that honestly haven't had them, but it's nice that haven't had it much before. But it's nice that when you do get it. So this is chapter 210, titled Add Doubly Mighty Girl. So with this, because of the fact that it's an advert, meaning that it's going to involve actors, it's a Charmi chapter, and like I said, nice that we get Charmi back in the frame after being absent for a few chapters because Nico grew up. She got out of Charmi's classroom and went into middle school. So yeah, this is where this chapter starts off with Charmi announces to like, hey, I'm going to be doing an ad with this guy called Dory, and everyone's just celebrating like, oh my god, that's amazing, that's amazing. We can't believe we've completely forgotten half the time that you are a very famous actor, Charmi. You're a celebrity in the house, and we often wonder, like, why do you even hang out here? Because we almost several times keep treating you like Nico's little sister, which is kind of crazy, because before you were the big sister to Nico and now you're the little sister to Nico, like, just kind of mind-boggling. But it's kind of obvious that this is why she hangs out with them, because with Charmi as a character, she could have come off as like this really stubborn, uptight, like, yeah, I'm an actor, I'm better than all you guys, what do you need me for? But no, she's legitimately a very likable character, and it's one of these things that actually helps to feel like a normal person away from her acting work. It's nice that she's got that aspect of her life balanced out, that she can separate her acting work from her personal life, and to have legitimate friends that she can go and hang out with. So it's nice that she has that. So now they start explaining, like, yeah, who is this Dory character? Because this is a character we haven't met yet, and they explain, like, oh, it's Jin Kadori. He's a hot and nice and great singer. He even acts. He started out as a YouTuber before. He uploaded some singing and dancing and made him go viral, which is pretty apparent a lot of the time today, where you have YouTubers that start off on YouTube and now they go on to have bigger stardoms, get proper gigs and everything. Like perfect example, like Cast of Dragon Ball Z Abridged or Little Karibo. They started off on YouTube and now they've gotten actual professional voice work. But yeah, Charmi says, like, oh, he's super popular at school right now. I'm a fan of him. So you can kind of imagine the kind of attitude that's going to be happening in this chapter, with like Charmi being like, oh my god, he's right there. I'm a big fan of him, but no, I've got to treat this as professional as possible. But at the same time, it's like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan of yours. So Nico asks Charmi, like, hey, so what kind of ad is it? And Charmi's like, oh, it's an instant ramen ad. So I play a middle schooler, and Dory's my older brother, and hey, if you want an example of how the ad's gonna play out, I've got the storyboard here that I've got memorized, and of all the cues and oh, what's that word? I'm blocking, like, oh my god, I'm meant to be an actor and I completely forgot that word. But yeah, blocking, which is the bits, which is the parts where you like the actions are like, oh, I'm gonna sit down here, you're gonna move over, like the stage directions in a way of a film or TV or ad production. But yeah, so she's so this is how the ad is actually gonna go. Charmi is sat at the table looking seriously, so she's drinking a cup of water, funking it down on the table and standing up, and then she's meant to get all teary-eyed and something's bad's happened at school, and she has a broken heart perhaps, and this is where Dory as a big brother comes in and he starts chopping green onions. She sees what he's doing, and this is where everyone's giving like their own little bits of narration in the chapter. Oh no, Charmi gives her a little bit of narration, and the brother doesn't have the words to say. He's just making a bowl of ramen, and everyone's commenting on it, and they're getting really serious, like really into it. Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. We can't believe, like, these are all these storyboards, like, oh, that's going to turn into something truly marvelous. Oh, this is the fantastic, like, can we add things? Can we take away things? And Charmi is just there like, these are just storyboards. You guys don't have to get so invested in them. Like, they're not the real thing. They're not the real thing yet. I mean, yeah, they're the blueprint for the real thing, but at the same time, they're not the real thing. She said, so the big part of this is that she's got to lift the weights at the end and say, like, I'm back to full strength, as everyone comments. So it's a drama, and then a smash cut to a comedic finale. So, okay, we've got you on that front. But this is the problem for Charmi, is that she has the arm strength. She says right here, she has the arm strength of those ramen noodles. Meaning, like, she has no arm strength whatsoever, and and she honestly thinks like they're gonna have to be expected to lift 20 pound weights, and this is what's actually freaking out here. As even Khan or is it Khan or Nico? No, I think it's Moria. Yeah, because Moria is sitting next to Mirio is sitting next to Mori. But yeah, bottom line is, like, they don't think that she's gonna be that they're gonna actually expect her to lift the 20 pounds weight. But this is where Charmi's like, no, you can't be sure though. And as a professional, I should be able to be ready to do anything. So again, I like that mentality of Charmi, that she's actually taking her character acting very seriously, like actually getting into the character, studying everything about it, and actually becoming the character themselves, even if it goes out of her limitations. So I like that natural mentality of her, but at the same time, she's still got to realise, like, okay, I'm a kid, and sometimes there's gonna be things like, I just cannot do this. There's no way I can go through this. And if she just asked the director, like, hey, you're not expecting me to lift a real 20 pound weight, the director would be like, no, it's all foam. You'll be all right. You don't have to worry about it. And then this whole chapter, she wouldn't have gone in this situation. But the fact that she didn't, she's still a kid and she didn't even think about that logically, is why she's here to ask Nico and everyone, like, hey, what should I do in this situation? Can you guys give me any advice here? And Nico, as ever, is like, oh, I know a muscle enhancing spell, and this is where people are like looking at Nico and being like, yeah, I don't think we should rely on magic, because your track record of magic being successful in these situations, Nico, is not looking great. Before they suggest, like, oh, why don't we just use a simple possession spell and allow Slump to do that? And this is where Charmy's like, yeah, we tried that before and you screwed it up, so this is why I have no other choice. I need to ask Nico for the spell here. But Nico's like, okay, the spell doesn't last long, so I need to be so I need to cast it right on you before and Charmy's like, okay, I'll get permission for you to come along to the studio, and Nico just like manipulates the whole situation to take advantage of just being able to come experience the whole had probably to meet Dory herself, as well as Charmy actually points out. It's like, okay, you need to be in close proximity to me and be close enough for a chance to get a photo of Dory. Yeah, I know you're just using this to just get some freebies out of me, Nico, but fine, whatever. I agree to this, and yeah, you can see where this is all gonna go wrong. A muscle enhancing spell, like she's gonna get the strength of She-Hulk. We cut to the day of the shoots where we have Dory coming up to Charmy, being like, oh hi Charmy, I'm looking forward to working for you today. And Charmy's just like, oh my god, it's him, he's right in front of me. Do I be polite? Do I call him by his family name and just be as polite as possible? As she bows herself and is like, okay, it's nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Can Dory. And Dory is just like, oh, please. No, you don't have to be so formal with me. You can just call me Dory. I haven't really done any TV gigs before, and this is my first ad, so in many ways, you are the superior to me, because I know you've done a few ads before, so I'm gonna be probably the one who's gonna be learning from you as you show me the ropes of today. And after this, he's just like, okay, bye, I've got to get ready, see you, it was nice talking to you and everything, as Charmy just has a complete brain fart of just being like, oh, he's so cool, he's like one of the coolest people ever. And you just have Nico be like, yeah, I know, I mean, I can't believe how hot he is. It's like he's from a shielded statue. Don't have any idea what that is, so if someone can comment on it in the comments, leave it for me. As they continue on talking about how he's famous for being really kind to the staff and other actors on set, and he's unlike Slump, who is so bossy and expressionless, and Mojito's always so stoic. Seeing anyone smile now almost feels shocking. And this where Maury and Slump are like, you guys are insulting us, and we can hear it because we're right next to you. So yeah, very funny gag there of just them insulting the people that are actually right there. It's like, you do realise we are right there before Nico uses the spell, which is up power 5 times. So now Charmy is supposed to have the physical 5 times the physical strength, as she doesn't feel any different. And Maury points out, like, isn't 5 times a little bit too much? Like, this could all go wrong so badly, and it could be so dangerous. And Charmy's like, oh no, I'd rather have too much strength than no strength at all before she's called away to get ready to start her portion of the filming of the ad. And Maury and Nico are just like, okay, we'll be offset, so if anything happens, just let us know, and just have to fake it. You don't have to like go over the top with everything. But yeah, as she meets the director and shakes his hand, the director's just like, oh my god, how hard is this girl's script? Like, literally, it's like she's breaking his hand, and Charmy's just there like, whoops, like, how on earth did I do that? Before one of the assistants is like, director, are you wrong? And the director's just like, no. Talk about having a fast script, Charmy. You must have what's £600 strength. And Charmy's just there like, director, are you okay? Because I am just a girl. For me to have £600 of strength, that's got to be one of the funniest jokes ever. But and this is where Charmy is like, oh my god, I've really done it now. As she kind of figures out, like, yeah, this is way more than five times the amount. So yeah, we totally screwed it up. Exactly like what happened with Slump the last time, and now I've got a spell that I don't even know exactly what to do with, but I've just got to get on with it. I've been granted a superpower. I should just see Charmy as a superhero, which, by the way, a spin-off with Charmy as a superhero. hey, make that a chapter where she takes the up power 5 times again and just becomes a superhero in a superhero film. Like, hey, that could work as a great standalone chapter. But she continues on by saying, it's smart to go ahead. Is it smart to go ahead with the filming? I guess I'll be okay as long as I try my best to be as gentle as possible to everything around it. But of course, this proves to be impossible, as when she picks up the glass that she's supposed to do for the first scene where she's supposed to go but slide back down, she immediately breaks it and everyone is just like, cup, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? That cup just exploded the second that she touched it. What happened, Charmi? What's wrong? Are you okay? And Charmi's just there like freaking out like, no, I'm not okay, I've got like that's like I've got to hide behind and pretend like it wasn't my fault and everything. What was that? Was that cup made up? I'm shouting out of nowhere. Like, tell me how dangerous it is. I'm not touching another cup. Like, don't give me any other cups. I mean, they could have just made it a plastic cup for all we know. And the director's like, of course, this is entirely understandable. We're also sorry. The story comes over and says, "Oh, that was terrible, Charmi. Are you okay? The cup broke almost as if you had a magic spell." I love that Dory is the one that actually figures out exactly what is going on here. As he says, it's almost as if you had a magic spell that made you so strong that just by touching it, it can shatter. But that can't be true. Like, no, Dory, you actually got it. Like, so not only is he hot, handsome, and a good actor, is that he's actually smart. He's like actually figuring out like, oh, this girl who clearly had no strength before now all of a sudden has the strength of the Incredible Hulk. Like, oh yeah, must be the spell that caught it. But nah, that could never be the case. Like, no, you were on the right track there. So continuing on, Charmi says like, oh no, you totally figured it out, Dory, but I'll just have to be very careful and very gentle from now on. Pretend that I'm as strong as a sumo wrestler. As they say, okay, Charmi, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut the drinking part, water part. So just go ahead, and stand up. And as she does this, as she stands up, pressing herself against the table just completely shatters. Just like, oh crap, there was a cockroach, so I smoothed it and smushed it with my elbow. As everyone thinks like this is all part of her acting, as it's getting too intense here. As Nico off the side on the set is wondering like, I wonder what got into her. As Maury says, yeah, somebody must have screwed up big time. I wonder who that was, Nico. So are you actually sure you only multiplied her strength by 5? As Nico says, yeah, I gave it the strength she had if she was 5 times her current size. As Maury goes, there's the answer we have here. Don't you remember the time you shrank us to 1/100th of our normal size so you can eat a giant donut? Before Nico says like, no, that was before my memories were reset. As Murray explains like, oh, it's a square cubic law. Muscle force is proportional to its cross-sectional area, increasing the area with the resulting force. Resulting force. So basically, the square root of 5. That's what they're getting at here. So that means that Charmi has 25 times her normal strength, and Nico's just there like, oh no, yeah, oh no, Nico, oh no. But yeah, the director just boils this down to like the table being older than they thought. So we should just go ahead and get a new one. As Charmi vehemently apologises for everything that's going on here, even though, well, technically part of this is her fault. She went to Nico instead of just going to the director and asking like, hey, you won't expect me to lift 20 pound weights. But no, she's apologising on her behalf and also on Nico's behalf, as she's like, okay, I've got to go extremely carefully here, go extremely slow so that I don't break anything else. And this is where she's able to get the crying scene that she was able to get out, and it looks so natural, and that's because she is crying for real. Like, oh my god, like probably think like, oh my god, I can't break anything. I'm sorry I've messed up this production. I'm sorry I messed up this production. It's just all weighing out on her and coming off in like her performance. So now she's using this like disaster to turn it into something positive with her performance. So as they start to move into the scene where Charmi eats the bowl of ramen, we have Dory going over his lines, which are, on days like this, there's nothing like a rich and salty Sion broth to soothe the heart. Add the special sauce to bring it on to a whole nother level. And Charmi is just like, at this point, like, oh my god, something bad's gonna happen with this bowl. I know something bad is gonna happen with this bowl. As now it's like, Charmi, what is that expression that you're actually doing right now? And sure enough, not only is her physical strength increased by 25, but now her breath is equally on that front, as she, as just like blowing on the ramen, just like turns into a big gust of wind that just blows up Dory's face, blows him back like he's about to be blown away by a hurricane, if not for some getting in his way. And yeah, it's just like that that he's feeling right now. We can't broadcast that because that takes away from one of Dory's most defining features, like his looks. His body's perfectly still, but his face looks like it's in a wind tunnel. How does that even happen in a situation like that? As Charmi says, like, oh, I think I felt a hurricane force wind just gust through, just on that one spot there. As they're like, are you kidding me? We had a north wind gale whip through here while it's still sunny. Like, she's just coming up with all these excuses to get around the fact that she's basically cheated because she didn't bother to ask the director the most important question about the weights. But Dory's taking it in stride, as Charmi's like, oh, you're not totally fine, and so monster strength, and it's so monstrous of me to even think about this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tug at you that hard. I didn't mean to cry on you this hard and everything. But yeah, the so monster strength Charmi's filming trial continues, as, like I said, she's crying on Dory right now and just being like, probably pulling on his feet like that. I'm just so sorry for everything, but of course it just totally rips off his shirt, and Dory's like, oh, I don't mind this. It's that your energy of yours that makes you so charming, Charmi. Hey, I see where she gets the nickname from now. It's just the way you are. As Charmi says that, like, oh, you damn, you're too kind. I'm probably just going to be like pining him, but he just ends up being rushed into a role here. And this is where they've concluded, like, finally they've finished all filming of all the parts, before Charmi eventually realises, like, she went through all of this for nothing because the dumbbell was fake. It was a foam fake. So she wasn't going to be made to hold on to a real one. But as she says, no. I went through all this trouble to get this strength. You are gonna make me hold a real one and make it super heavy too. And the director's like, why? Like, hey, if it works for the filming, it works for the filming. So days later, everyone is around the TV watching the commercial, as they're like, oh, what, that one where that filming went haywire? They managed to do something with it, and yeah, this is where they've edited it around to make it certainly sound intense for ramen. As Charmi explains, like, yeah, they chopped out a piece of the dialogue. The whole line was add the special sauce to bring it on to a whole another level, as they kind of use this to explain, like, oh, the special sauce is what gave Charmi her super strength in the commercial, as everyone's just there like, what the hell did we just watch? As Charmi explains, like, yeah, I know the footage was usable for the ramen ad, so another producer came in and bought everything to use in a different ad for a fitness gym, as it showcased that Charmi is now full strength, best gym for weight training, strong gym, and that's where the chapter ends. So I do like how they did that, like how they sorted that out in the end. It's like, okay, this would not work for a ramen ad, but what would it work for? A gym ad. Okay, we'll give it to this producer. He could do something with it, advertise his business, but at the same time, that kind of ruins the ramen commercial. I mean, maybe they'll make another one later when this spell is worn off and Charmi and Dory can work together properly to get the proper version of the ramen ad that they wanted. But yeah, so like I said, this was a great character moment for Charmi, but I really wish she had just gone, she would have just gone to the director and be like, hey, you're not going to ask me to lift a 20 pound weight here before. Actually, that would have actually been a lot more understanding of why she got into the situation. She went to the director, he explained, oh no, it's fake foam, you don't have to worry about it. But she would be like, no, I really want to do this. I'm a professional, I really want to get into this character, I really want to be able to lift this 20 pound weight. And they'd be like, but no, you can't lift it. It's like, just let me try. And then she'd be like, oh my god, why did I let me agree to this? Why did I let me agree to this? Because then that would have made this whole situation not feel like Charmi was forcing something for nothing. But I did like a character in her interactions with Dory in the commercial outside the commercial. And I feel like Dory, like what I said with Pie Jams, is probably going to play a part later on in the series. But yeah, nice to see Charmi get some character development and characters focus spotlight here, showcasing that despite everything, she's still a kid and she still makes mistakes, but she still wants to be as professional as she wants to be in her career. And nice to see that, hey, she is allowed to actually be a kid rather than just being an actor first and then kid second. She's allowed to balance out both her professional life and her personal life really well. Now, like I said, I really hope that we get into the training arc, and the fact that we've had Charmi in this chapter means that, yeah, and the more recent chapters means that, yeah, we're probably gonna get her in the train arc, because she still needs some training herself to showcase some of her powers. Maybe training how to bear use slump as her familiar, and also maybe getting Nemu in there, because it would be nice to see like all three of the main witches of the group kind of come together and have a chapter to themselves or have an arc to themselves. But like I said, that's something that we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.